What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about baby products that I regret buying or I regret putting on my registry, things I just think you don't need, especially if you're on a budget and you just want to get necessities. Now if you want to splurge on them on things, then yes, maybe you can get them, but for me, I didn't really need them. So I want to give you guys a list of things that I think that you don't need to put on your registry. First-time mother, it's kind of hard to know what you should put on your registry, what you'll need when the baby comes, what you'll need a little bit after the baby comes. And I think that we struggled because we were on a budget, but we didn't want to overbuy things that we didn't need, but we didn't want to underbuy either. So we kind of put just a good amount of things on there that we think we'd need. I watched so many videos, I talked to so many people, and I kind of just put together a list of things that I wanted on my registry or I wanted to get before the baby came or a little bit after the baby came. And there's some things that I didn't need and I could have saved not getting them maybe in the beginning and maybe getting them later on. So I'm just going to give you guys this quick list, and I'm also going to link below the things that I think you do need, but I'll do another video on that later on. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the memory book. So this was on our registry. It was something so cute where, you know, you keep your little documents on the baby and the mother and all of that, but as you can see, this book is empty because when I actually had Chase, or a little bit before, things got so hectic where we were trying to set up the nursery in time. I had the baby 1 week early. After the baby came, I had a C-section. I couldn't barely move from the bed. I was just struggling with, you know, keeping everything balanced, trying to feed the baby, trying to get rest and everything. I had no time to actually fill this memory book out. When I actually did get time, probably after 3 months, when things kind of got, you know, normal, I didn't have like half of the things that I needed to fill the book out. I didn't take like that many pictures. Everything was just too crazy, and this book is still empty. So if you're the mother that you know that you love to keep documents and you love to keep notes and those stuff, this probably will work out for you. But if you're like me, that, you know, everything happened so fast and you were just trying to get yourself together and it was just too hectic, then I don't think you need this book. So this is my first thing that I probably wouldn't get on my registry, and it's something that I didn't use, and Chase is almost 1, so I still haven't used it. The next product that I don't think that you have to have on your registry are these little swaddles. So Chase probably stayed in a swaddle maybe 2 to 3 times after carrying him home. When we put him in this one is actually the one with the velcro, so you could just snap it and pop it together. He still came out of it. He would wiggle his hands out. He would not stay in the blanket swaddles. He wouldn't stay in any kind of swaddle that we got. So swaddles were something that I didn't use at all. I thought the velcro ones would be better because it would be harder for him to like come out of it, but he hated it. He wanted his hands free. He would get miserable every time I put him in the swaddle. So I think that this swaddle, for me especially, I didn't really need, and I had like 3 or 4 of them on my registry that have not, they've probably been used once. Some of them have never been used, so I definitely regret buying these. So the next item I want to talk about are bottles. So for bottles, I know if you're not breastfeeding, they're a necessity, but for me, like I was breastfeeding, I still am breastfeeding, Chase is almost 1. Bottles were like a waste for me. I got so many different types. I probably used them like 5 times since Chase has been born, and that's probably the few times that I had to run out. But I exclusively breastfed Chase, and I didn't need bottles. Like, he would not take the bottle. I thought that it would be so much easier getting him to take the bottle, but he's so used to having breast milk that he didn't want the bottle at all. So all the bottles I got were a waste. But I do recommend that if you are going to pump and feed, that maybe start off with 1 bottle and don't like get a bunch of different bottles, because you don't know which one they're gonna like. It depends on the nipple of the bottle. Like, there's so many variables when it comes to breastfeeding and bottle feeding that I would probably start with 1 type of bottle and then move on to another one if the first one's not working, but don't just buy a bunch of them. And then that will bring me to pacifiers. Chase hated pacifiers. I got tons and tons and tons of pacifiers. Up until this day, he hates pacifiers. He never took one of them. Some kids love them. I thought he would love it. He just didn't like it. Maybe it's because I didn't introduce it from birth and he wasn't used to it. He didn't like it. He just wanted to be on the breast, and that's it. So bottles and pacifiers, especially a lot of them, were a regret for me when it came to purchasing, because I just thought it was gonna be, you know, straightforward. They're gonna like the bottle, they're gonna like the pacifier, and it wasn't like that. There was probably only one bottle that he kind of took, and it was the Comatoma bottle, so I'll link that one below. But at the same time, it was only like last resort. If I wasn't here and he was really hungry, he would actually drink it. But if I'm there, which I was 24/7 most days, I've probably only left him like 4 days. He's always been with me. So bottles and pacifiers were just not it for him. So moving on from the bottles and the pacifiers, the next thing that I think I did not need on my registry, I didn't even put it on my registry because I read some mixed reviews on it, but I got it right after having Chase because I thought I would need it. It was a bottle warmer. Now he wasn't taking the bottle, so like really and truly the only thing I was probably warming up was like pump milk, which would just spoil because he wasn't taking the bottle. He didn't want to drink the milk that was in the bottle, so everything was kind of a waste. I had tons of milk that he probably took a few sips of it and he wanted no more because I was there, so why would he want the bottle over the breast? So the warmer was really something that I did not need. And now I have it that maybe I'll use probably the milk to kind of warm the milk a little when he starts drinking whole milk. But that's definitely something that I regret buying, and I should have just stuck to my original plan to not get it, and I ended up getting it and I haven't used it. I probably used it 3 times and it was just a waste for me. And if you're on a budget, it probably will be a waste for you if you plan to breastfeed. Now, if you plan to formula feed, it may be a different case, but I didn't formula feed, so I don't know. And this is really just my own personal experience with baby Chase and things that I don't think are needed if you're in a similar situation to me. Okay, moving on to the next product are these little mittens and cute little hats that all the newborn stores with the baby stores with the newborn products have. First of all, I can only find one of these right now, so they're all over the place. They just got lost. Chase found a way to take them off of his hands. He wanted his hands free. Though the best thing that we got to probably protect him from scratching himself were the pajamas with the pads to come over, the fingers to cover up. But these little mittens were not good. He did not like them. We had so many of them. We got so many of them from our registry. We got so many of them at our baby shower that they just sat in the drawer. And then when I was getting rid of his stuff after 3 months, then I got rid of most of them. I donated them to Salvation Army, but I didn't use these. I don't even think one day. I probably tried to use it with him and he just found a way to take it off. So these were pointless, these little mittens. Also, these little hats didn't really work out. They were cute for like pictures or, you know, if you wanted to just dress him up. But if you're in like a warm state like me, I'm in Florida, you don't need these hats because these hats did not come in handy. He was born in March, so it was summer little right after. He didn't need to be covering his head. It was hot. It was just a mess. These hats didn't fit after probably 2 months, and I don't recommend buying these. Maybe if you're in a colder state and it will be a little bit different for you because, you know, you have to keep them warm. But for people like me, it was just not good. We didn't use them, especially the mittens. So I would not recommend getting these if you're in Florida or in a warm state or in the Caribbean. I just wouldn't recommend these. So moving on from hats and mittens, I'm gonna go on to clothes. So for a newborn baby, I think for clothes, you don't need as many. You need pajamas, you need onesies, and you need a few in newborn size, especially if you have a smaller baby. If you have a bigger baby, I would recommend just going straight to 0 to 3. But I recommend pajamas, I recommend onesies and socks for like if they go on the road or anything. But dressy clothes, outfits, sets, you don't need. So we had been gifted a bunch of them. I didn't put a lot of them on my registry because I knew that I would be gifted a lot of clothes at my baby show, and you know, a family would give you a lot of clothes, and that's just something that's mostly gifted. So I didn't put a lot on my registry, but I did receive so many newborn sizes that Chase did not even wear once because He was mainly in his onesie, he was mainly in the pajamas. Babies at that age don't do anything. Newborns, they just want to be comfortable. You just want to keep them warm. You want to, you know, have them in something that is comfy for them. And I think that buying too many clothes are just a waste because they don't wear them. They hardly go on the road, you hardly take them out. Maybe for pictures you can have a few outfits that you want to take pictures in for your newborn, but buying too many clothes is just a waste of money, especially because you're definitely going to be gifting them, and when you get gifted them, you're going to have double if you already bought them, which are onesies, the pajamas, especially the ones that can go over so you don't need the mittens. It goes over their palms, they can't scratch themselves, they can't do anything. I'll link a few below, but those are the things that I do recommend as clothes to get for newborns. And I don't recommend getting too many newborn sizes because 0 to 3 is definitely good enough, especially if you have a bigger baby. If you have a smaller baby than newborn, but don't get too many, because after the baby comes, you'll have a better idea of what fits and what will fit for the long term, rather than just buying a whole bunch of clothes before the baby is here. So baby Chase is in the background, so you'll hear him. He's in his playpen, he's playing. But moving on to the next item, and the next item I don't recommend is the Doc-A-Tot. So the Doc-A-Tot is $175. It's like a little co-sleeping bed for them that you can have in your bed that will be safe. I'm going to show you right here. But I didn't get this from birth. It was something that I was kind of saying, do I want to spend so much on it? Do I really need it? And then eventually after birth I got it. So I don't know if that may have been the case why he didn't like it, but he did not like it for 1 second. Even when he was in it, he looked so restricted. It just didn't look comfortable. We spent $175 on it, and we didn't use it not even one night. He wanted to be out of it, so it got no use. We actually ended up returning it and got a whole bunch of different stuff for him. I don't know, it could have been because he wasn't used to it from birth and it wasn't something that he was comfortable in from birth, that he didn't like it by the time we got it. But I would definitely not recommend it, because if you're on a budget, $175 can get you a whole bunch of all the things that you really need. And I don't think a Doc-A-Tot is something that is a necessity when it comes to your newborn. Some women definitely love it, and that's okay. If you do love it, you can comment down below. You can comment down below and let me know. But if not, I don't think that, if you're not used to it and if you're thinking about getting it, I would probably hold off on getting it, because $175 is a lot to get for something that the baby doesn't use. The next big item that I don't think is needed is a changing table. By the time you have a baby, if you have a newborn, if you have a C-section, if you have a regular pregnancy, I feel like when it's time to change the baby, you change the baby anywhere that you are. Because you're not gonna be in the room all the time. You're gonna be in your couch, you're gonna be in your bed, and you just have to change the baby where you are. I can't think in a realistic situation that you're gonna go back and change your baby in the same spot every single time. So I don't think a changing table is needed. If it's attached to your crib, then okay, because you get basically a 2-in-1. But I can tell you that so many women have told me this, that it's not needed. And I actually got the changing table off my registry, and I just haven't used it. It actually holds Chase's teddy bears, so he hasn't used it once, and it was just not something that you have to have on your registry. You don't need it. And that brings me also to the crib. Now, the crib is a necessity, don't get me wrong, but as a newborn, a bassinet is the best thing, especially if you don't want to spend all the money right there and you don't want to have to buy the crib and everything. If you get gifted a crib, then fine. But if you have to spend your own money, I think a bassinet is a better buy up until maybe 3 months. And then when the baby is like 3 to 6 months and you're trying to transition them. But if you have to spend your own money, I think a bassinet is a better buy up until maybe 3 months. And then when the baby is like 3 to 6 months and you're trying to transition them, a crib is something that you can hold off maybe until 6 months, and then you get a crib and then you try to transition. But in the beginning, as a newborn, a crib is not a necessity. Some mothers do well putting their baby in the crib, but it wasn't my experience to have Chase in the crib as a newborn. We felt better with him closer to the bed than in another room. So those were just a few items that I don't believe you need in either the beginning of having the baby as a newborn, or I don't believe that you need them at all. And I just wanted you guys to have an idea of what, if you're deciding what to put on your registry or what you really need, then I just wanted to give you guys an idea. But I do believe that instead of spending like $175 on a Doc-A-Tot, you could get so many more diapers, and diapers then you'll really need. You'll be using them for years, and I think those are better things for a newborn, because newborns go through so many diapers, so many wipes. So there's so many other things that you really need for a newborn: stroller, car seat. So I'm going to do another video on newborn must-haves, but these are just a few items that I don't believe that you need, and I actually regret buying them, and I just wanted to share them with you. So thank you guys for watching my video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for the feedback from the last video, and I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.